Welcome back, scientists. Today, we're going to be working a little bit more on our sky patterns unit, lesson 12 of Science Sky Unit. The essential question is, where are the stars in the sky? If you haven't already done so, please grab your science notebook. Go ahead and pause the video if you need a little more time. Open your science notebook to page 25. Where are the stars in the sky? Phenomenon. You see Orion in one part of the sky. Later that night, it is on the other side of the sky. What do you wonder about this phenomenon? We have a sentence starter. I wonder. Finish that sentence with something you wonder about how this happens. You will use what you learned to explain this phenomenon. So again, the phenomenon is you see Orion in one part of the sky. Later that night, it is on the other side of the sky. What do you wonder about this phenomenon? Finish that sentence. Go ahead and pause the video while you write your sentence about what you wonder. I'm going to read to you from our Science TCI book, Walking on the Moon. 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Are you ready to go to the moon? You hear a loud roar and your seat begins to shake. Then your spacecraft lifts off the ground. You're pushed back into your seat. It feels like something is pressing you down. You start to travel away from Earth into space. Today, you are an astronaut. Astronauts are people who train to visit space. It is not like traveling in a car or a plane inside a spacecraft. Objects float. You float too. You may be on the spacecraft for many days. Other astronauts have been to the moon before. Some have even walked on the moon. They collected rocks and soil and brought them back to Earth. You are almost there. Look out the spacecraft window. From the moon, Earth looks very small. At last you land. You put on a special suit and heavy boots. You can breathe air inside the suit. You see a layer of dust on the moon's surface. There are footprints. There is no wind to blow them away. You take a step. You walk on the moon. Science words. Telescope. The first picture is of a telescope that the average person might own and to use to view the stars. The second picture is of the Hubble Space Telescope. This telescope is very expensive. It floats out in space, just outside the Earth's atmosphere. Where are the stars in the sky? In the night sky, stars look like tiny dots of light. Do they stay in one place all night? Number 1, the stars at night. If the sky is clear and there are not too many lights, you may see many stars. Some stars look like they form a picture in the sky. Can you find Orion? Orion is a hunter. Orion's belt is made of 3 stars. You might see Orion high in the sky. Later, you might see it lower in the sky. Even later, it might go so low in the sky that you can only see a part of it. The the stars do not stay in one place. They seem to move across the sky. There are two pictures at the bottom of the page. One says Orion early at night. The second says Orion later at night. Engineering design. Number 2, looking at the sky. Long ago, people thought that stars might be small holes in the sky. Do stars look like holes to you? People wanted to know about the stars and other objects in the sky, but there was a problem. They could not see the objects well enough. The telescope helps to solve this problem. It makes things look bigger, brighter, and clearer. Scientists use this new tool to look at the stars. They learned that stars are big, round, and very bright. They saw different colors too. Some stars are orange, some are white, some are blue. Lesson summary. The stars seem to move across the sky. The telescope was invented to help people see space objects better. Let's take a stargazing field trip with Miss Summers. Are you ready? Don't worry, we won't need to board a spaceship or wear our spacesuits. We just need a warm jacket. Let's take a walk. Have you ever wondered what the stars are? They seem to be small, cold, and bright dots. But in fact, they are huge, hot balls. Stars are shining because of the constant burning process that is going on inside them. As a result of this burning, an enormous amount of light and heat is thrown into space. We see stars as tiny dots only because they are so far away from us. In order to get to even the closest star, not counting the sun, we would have to fly for more than 100,000 years. Stars differ in size, brightness, and color. Also, the stars can vary in temperature. Blue stars seem to be cold, but in fact, they are the hottest ones with a temperature of more than 30,000 degrees Celsius. White stars are a little cooler. Their temperature is more than 7,000 degrees Celsius. Yellow stars have a temperature of 5,000 to 6,000 degrees Celsius. Orange stars, more than 3,500 degrees Celsius. Finally, the coldest stars are the red ones, more than 2,000 degrees Celsius. Do you know which star is closest to the Earth? Of course, this is our sun. The sun is a yellow star and its temperature is about 6,000 degrees Celsius. And this is how the sun looks compared to some other stars: Sirius, Vega, Pollux, Arcturus. Aldebaran, Rigel, Antares, Betelgeuse. In ancient times, while observing stars, people grouped them into patterns called constellations. These constellations form a star map. Since the Earth rotates along its axis, the stars seem to move across the sky. It is actually the Earth that is moving. Only one star remains in its place all the time. This is the Polaris, or North Star. It is located directly above the North Pole. Earth's axis points directly towards the Polaris. Therefore, the Polaris indicates the direction due north. Let's locate the North Star in some constellations. The Big Dipper is part of the constellation of Great Bear. Usually, you can easily find it in the sky. If you connect the two extreme stars of the Big Dipper and then continue this line up to a bright star, you will find the Polaris. It's right on the edge of the handle of the Little Dipper, part of the Little Bear constellation. You can try to find some other constellations in the sky. This is Orion. It is easily recognizable by its belt, made up of 3 stars. Cassiopeia. It looks like the letter W. Look, a shooting star. Of course, this is not actually a shooting star, but a meteor. A meteor is a small fragment of an asteroid or a comet that burns in the Earth's atmosphere. Real stars, of course, cannot fall down. Well, we've seen lots of interesting things in the night sky. Now it's time to end our field trip into space. Homework. Please complete pages 26 and 27 for homework today. I will read the directions for you. Please complete these pages before stopping your science lesson for today. Investigation, stargazing. Write a story and draw pictures about our stargazing trip. Create a title for this up there on the top line. Then begin your story on the first page. Add a picture to help describe your story. Then on page 27, continue your story and end with a nice picture. I hope you enjoy writing about our stargazing trip. Show us what you learned. All your teachers want to see how much you learned today. Can't wait to see you for another science adventure.